Good afternoon, President, special guests, colleagues, students, family and friends. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to our first virtual end-of-year show. SHOW20 is a celebration of all the work, activities and achievements in the school during the past academic year. The superb quality and range of work of the school is on display in our yearbook as a true reflection of the learning, teaching, research and engagement which has taken place during the academic year across architecture, architectural technology and construction. It is a great credit to the school and all those involved. The TU Dublin Strategic Plan, Strategic Intent 2030, Realising Infinite Possibilities, which was adopted in January, provides an inspiring and useful framework in which to develop our school's own strategic focus. This focus ensures through all aspects of our work and activities, we will deliver sustainable building which is efficient, economic and ethical, imbued with the values of shared responsibility, equality, diversity and inclusion, and of course, beauty. These values have never been more important than now, and we strive to ensure that inequality, discrimination and prejudice have no place in our school nor in our university. The need for cooperation and collaboration to deliver on climate action has also never been greater. By inculcating the value and principle of sustainability through our school programs and activities, we are seeking to demonstrate our commitment to real action on sustainability. We are supporting and facilitating a new generation of graduates who will be leaders in the delivery of the sustainability agenda. Our young people are our inspiration. They identify climate action as a catalyst for fundamental change within the industry. Their passion and commitment to the environment and to the health and well-being of society is the motivation for a fundamental rethink of the type and focus of the academic portfolio within the school. This is seen in the embedding of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, in the co-creation of our design curricula, which was recognised internationally as the best project in education by the Earth Institute Local Project Challenge, and by the adoption of digitalisation and building performance across our programmes and activities. Through the investment in equipment and machinery, through the recapitalisation programme in apprenticeship, which opens up the possibilities for fabrication and digital manufacture in timber and construction. Through the success of our students in the national and world skills competitions, through a wide range of student-led activities, for example, the formation of a new student organisation, the Architectural Technology Association, a highlight being their Leading Lights lecture programme, and through the designing and validation of new programmes such as the Master of Architecture and Bachelor of Science in Sustainable Timber Product Technology. The theme of this year's yearbook reflects this focus and illustrates our collective ambition. This journey started a number of years ago at the time of the formation of the school in the ambitious and forward-thinking Men's Energy Skills Research Project, and out of that, the development of our suite of postgraduate programmes in building performance. The lessons learned from these initiatives are being invested further within the school's strategic ambition, deepening the engagement of the academic community, staff and students with the values of sustainability. The quality and scope of our connection and engagement with our stakeholders, with industry, the professions and the wider community is a critical measure of our relevancy and value to society. Our engagement with digital and virtual communications and knowledge and information sharing platforms has transformed the way we interact with colleagues and with our students and alumni. The hosting of a virtual end-of-year celebration, although a necessity in our current circumstances, gives some sense of the potential of being part of and connecting to a much wider global network. We are joined today by Professor David Fitzpatrick, President of TU Dublin, to highlight the importance of our strategic plan in setting our vision of creating a better world together. Also, Ms. Bianca Wong, a graduate of our Architectural Technology programme and now Global Head of Sustainability at Kingspan, a global company which started in Ireland and whose mission is to accelerate a net zero emissions future with well-being of people and planet at its heart. and Dr. Avril Behan, Director and Dean of our College of Engineering and Built Environment, the first female director of the college, who is leading the college with vision, ambition, intelligence and passion. Please feel free to add your comments and observations in the chat. We won't be able to answer questions, I'm afraid. So to speak more on these themes and to introduce our guest speaker, I'm delighted to welcome and hand over to Professor David Fitzpatrick. Thank you.
Orna, thank you very much, and it's a great pleasure to be here, colleagues, guests, and you've summarised very appropriately a lot of our ambition around the infinite possibilities that TU Dublin has, and some of our ambition around creating a better world together. I think for the graduates or soon to be graduates from our programs, the end of year exhibition is always a really pivotal moment in their academic progression. And as I say, this virtual end of year show is something new for us all. It's not the ideal scenario perhaps, but on reflection, I think when we look at the book and the pages we're turning before we all started talking, there was really some fantastic work there and some really great presence being put into our view. I think for the students and the graduates who are coming through this year, one of the most important things to remember is it's been a challenging second semester. You've been working through a lockdown process. You've been engaging remotely with the academic staff who've been supporting and mentoring you in that way. But actually, to your significant credit, you have shown your capacity to be adaptive and innovative and to be self-reliant and self-motivating in completing your work and completing your projects in a way that actually gives you an opportunity to sell those attributes to your future employers. You have demonstrated incredible capacity in achieving what you have achieved this academic year. To my colleagues, I'd like to express directly to you my thanks for how you've managed to adapt as well. It's been a learning experience, not just for students, but for the university and how we deal in a very different and occasionally difficult and challenging environment. So, as you say, our strategic plan is really built around some of the core themes that link strongly to sustainability, the Sustainable Development Goals being a platform and the lens through which we viewed our strategic objectives. The impact that we can make by contributing to climate action initiatives and sustainability as an embedded theme is something that we really want to carry forwards. And particularly for architecture and architectural technology and linked disciplines, our ambition to develop the Design and Construct Centre in Broombridge is absolutely pivotal in that regard. And the school is really playing a leading role in helping us develop that centre, which will bring together not just the more traditional architectural and construction industry linked disciplines, but also the disciplines related to data science and data visualization, together with material science and other innovative processes. So it really becomes a melting pot for the breadth of academic disciplines that can contribute to truly sustainable and innovative building and building technologies. So it's a really exciting project. It's one that we are progressing on all the time, and we've had significant engagement and support from industry and from industry partners that both current and new through Design and Construct. I think the person that we're really most interested to hear about today isn't me actually at all. It's definitely one of our own though, Bianca Wong, who's a graduate from the Architectural Technology program in what was DIT, now TU Dublin. And I noticed on the Kingspan website that Bianca referenced the fact that her current role didn't actually exist before she came to Kingspan, that Kingspan is an organization that is showing its innovation and its capacity to develop and expand and create new environments in a very dramatic way. And I know personally, having visited Kingspan and the Icon Centre, that they are an action speaks louder than words organization, that what they are doing and what they are delivering is really an exemplar to us and to other sectors of many other industries as well. So it is a real pleasure to be able to welcome Bianca and to have her talk to us a little bit today about sustainability and what's happening in Kingspan and the wider environment and their Planet Passionate program. So with that, I'd like to hand over to Bianca Wong. Thank you, Bianca.
Thank you very much, David. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all well and safe. A big thank you for the invitation to speak to you all today. I'm delighted to join you on this very happy occasion. And what I'd like to take my time to talk about is sustainability in the delivery of the built environment. As I'm sure we all know, our industry is one of the largest contributors to carbon emissions globally. And in order for our industry to play its part in protecting our planet for future generations, we really need to adapt our current carbon and resource intensive model of delivery within the built environment to one that is more sustainable and hopefully in time, maybe even regenerative. So just a very brief introduction to me. So I graduated from the Architectural Technology course in 2013, and I went straight to work for Kingspan in the Australian business. For those of you who may not be overly familiar with Kingspan, we are an Irish PLC based in County Cavan, and we're a global manufacturer of systems and solutions for the construction sector. We have a wide range of products varying from insulation technologies to rainwater harvesting systems and into integrated renewable energy systems. We have over 160 manufacturing sites worldwide, and we supply into over 60 countries, and we've annual revenue of just under 5 billion. So I started off in a technical role based in Sydney, and I worked on our large projects with multinational clients across Southeast Asia. I then moved into a full sustainability role when I moved back home to Ireland. I also undertook a master's part-time in energy and sustainable building design in De Montfort University in Leicester, which has led me to my current role, which is head of sustainability for our global operations across our supply chain and our products. I lead a global team of 20, and we look at all aspects of sustainability, both internal to our own company and externally as well. So that's anything from our own internal Planet Passionate strategy, which I'll talk a little bit about later, to assessing our impacts across our value chain, and then also on specific technical sustainability topics related to regional markets. So that can be anything from building level life cycle assessment, product circularity, and NZ building design. And we also work very closely with our innovation team. We've just opened our new headquarters here called Icon in Ireland. It's a LEED Gold building, and it's really going to be the place where big questions are asked. And we're currently at the moment, we're developing and looking into next generation bio-based insulation technologies to meet commercial level performance requirements, which is very exciting. And so my time working with a global manufacturer, it's really resonated with me, and I've learned an awful lot about the impact that both business and consumers have on the environment. The resources that we all take for granted and use daily, when multiplied up over 7 billion people, goes far beyond what we can sustain in the long term. And our current global linear growth model, the make waste model, is just pushing us well beyond planetary boundaries, and we've now really reached a critical crossroads on climate action. And the hard truth of it really is that while there's been greater awareness and momentum on climate change over the past number of years, it actually hasn't resulted in increased action, particularly by governments. The recent UN reports highlight that we're now on the brink of missing the opportunity to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees by the end of this century, and that collectively, through policies and other mechanisms, we now need to deliver a 7.6% emissions reduction every year between 2020 and 2030. This is obviously hugely topical at the moment, and it's a key talking point with the Green Party in terms of pushing hard for this in the government formation talks with Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael. There's been an awful lot of criticism that it's unrealistic, given that we're an agricultural country, but it's actually exactly what we really need to be aiming for. To tackle this crisis, there's going to have to be urgent transformational action across all sectors. And we know that the construction sector is one of the largest contributors, as I've already mentioned. The construction and operations of buildings account for 36% of all global energy and almost 40% of all energy-related CO2 emissions. We absorb eye-watering amounts of extracted resources, and we're actually responsible for over 30% of all waste to landfill globally. And with global floor area expected to double by 2060 and energy use on the rise, this trend is set to accelerate. We're going to need to move far beyond business as usual to transform how we deliver the built environment. We all need to play our part, and at Kingspan we've been trying to transition our business model for the past 2 decades, but we still have an awful lot of work to do. A key part of my current role is the delivery of our new Planet Passionate Strategy 2030, which the main aims are: we want to reduce our environmental impact and our virgin resource use as we continue to grow our global business. And working with our innovation team, we want to enhance the environmental performance of the current product set, while also bringing to market new products that will help to reduce the operational and embodied carbon of buildings, while also potentially serving as a future feedstock source for Kingspan's new products in the future as we move towards a circular economy. No one company, practice or institution can do this alone. It requires systemic change on lots of different levels, and so collaboration is key. We partner with a wide range of organisations, NGOs, universities, the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, and also working very closely with the green building councils around the world, who are actually really leading the charge on net zero buildings through their new Advancing Net Zero Buildings programme. There's clearly huge untapped potential within the built environment to help tackle climate change, and that's where we all come in. We all have a part to play, both as construction professionals, educators, and also as informed citizens. I'm clearly preaching to the converted here, having reviewed your end of year work, and I was really impressed with how you've incorporated the UN SDGs throughout your coursework and the leadership that's being shown by the university in currently updating your syllabus and your activities around supporting sustainability and climate action. Just from my own experience to date, I find that there is a huge need for upskilling across the industry, and I've actually found it particularly difficult in hiring people into my own teams over the past number of years, and I've had to look outside of Ireland for skills on a few occasions. So there's definitely a gap in the market there that needs to be filled quite quickly. And so the work that you're doing at the university is so important to help us achieve success in the future. What we really need is the incoming waves of architects, architectural technologists and construction professionals to be championing, educating and advocating for more sustainable practices at all stages. Our actions have rippling effects up and down the construction value chain, and they also reinforce the current model. I've seen firsthand in our own business how very small actions, questioning the status quo or trying to embed ongoing improvements at the right time by the right person in the chain can have a snowball effect over time. And so I'd just like to wrap up by congratulating you all on completing your coursework. They are very challenging courses, but I feel they really do prepare you for going into industry. We actually used to joke that, you know, work would be a doddle when we got through college because we'd actually be doing less hours and getting paid for it. So I can imagine that probably resonates a lot with you all. So it really is an amazing achievement. I wish you all a very interesting and purposeful career. And if you do have any questions on sustainability moving forward, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to talk. So I'm going to go on mute now and I'm going to hand over to Alvaro.
Great. Thank you very much, Bianca. Thank you both for the presentation and for the leadership that you are showing through your role at Kingspan. It's great to see, and particularly for a graduate from our programmes. So my name is Avril Behan. I am the Director and Dean of the College of Engineering and Built Environment. When I started with TU Dublin, then DIT, I was fortunate enough to actually teach land surveying and point cloud measurement in the Dublin School of Architecture on the Architectural Technology programme. So therefore I was delighted when I was invited back to participate in SHOW20, where the work of students from the Dublin School of Architecture leads in our transition as a college towards collaborative and sustainable architecture, engineering and construction education, which will be supported in the future by our Design and Construct Centre at Broombridge that President referred to earlier, and which you can see in my background here. The Dublin School of Architecture offers a number of bursaries, including the Mount Kavanagh Scholarships and Awards for Architecture and Architectural Technology, and the Moy Materials Scholarship for Architectural Technology. The school also awards academic prizes, including the Morrison Prizes for Student Excellence and the Carpentry Store Award for Timber Product Technology. I am pleased to introduce each award and announce the winners for 2020. The Carpentry Store Award 2020. Carpentry Store Award is the best second year cornerstone design and make project on the Bachelor of Technology in Timber Product Technology programme. The winner of the 2020 Carpentry Store Award is Mark Lyons. Congratulations, Mark. The Montcavanagh Scholarship for Architecture and Architectural Technology is open to current first-year students of the Bachelor of Architecture and BSc Hons Architectural Technology programmes. Each scholarship is for €2,500 and is awarded based on a high level of academic achievement combined with a record of extracurricular engagement within the architecture and architectural technology programmes. The winner of the Montcavanagh Scholarship for Architectural Technology 2020 is first-year student Cillian Markey. Congratulations, Cillian. The winner of the Montcavanagh Scholarship for Architecture 2020 is Alex Dillon. Congratulations, Alex. The Montcavanagh Award for Architecture and Architectural Technology is open to final year students of both programmes. The Montcavanagh Award aims to celebrate and recognise commitment, talent and academic excellence. It also aims to recognise a high-achieving one-to-watch graduate who will make their mark in the world of architecture. Each award is for €2,500 and is awarded based on a high level of academic achievement combined with a record of extracurricular engagement. The winner of the Montcavanagh Award for Architectural Technology 2020 is Claudia Meros. Congratulations, Claudia. The winner of the Montcavanagh Award for Architecture 2020 is Adam McLaughlin. Congratulations, Adam. The Sir Richard Morrison Scholarship Scheme was established by Lieutenant Colonel Charles Morrison, who bequeathed a sum of money to provide scholarships for students of architecture in memory of his relation, the renowned 19th century Irish architect Sir Richard Morrison. Sir Richard Morrison prizes for student excellence are for €500 each and are awarded to a student in second, third and fourth year architecture and second and third year architectural technology. As with the other scholarships and awards, each prize will be awarded based on academic performance combined with a record of engagement. The winner of the Sir Richard Morrison Prize for Second Year Architectural Technology 2020 is Aidan McKenna. Congratulations, Aidan. The winner of the Sir Richard Morrison Prize for Third Year Architectural Technology 2020 is Shane Nelson. Congratulations, Shane. The winner of the Sir Richard Morrison Prize for Second Year Architecture 2020 is David Bell. Congratulations, David. The winner of the Sir Richard Morrison Prize for Third Year Architecture 2020 is Conor O'Kelly. Congratulations, Conor. The winner of the Sir Richard Morrison Prize for Fourth Year Architecture 2020 is Juliette Boshart. Congratulations, Juliette. So on that very happy note, I am delighted to be able to hand over to prize-winning student Conor O'Kelly. Thank you all.
Hi, yeah, thank you, Avril, for that. It's a nice surprise. Didn't expect that. So yeah, I would just like to quickly talk about the student sort of overview of the year, and it was a very challenging and strange year that we had, but I think the school really adapted well and really rose to the challenges. So yeah, to start off the year, we had this vertical week project that was led by Jennifer, and it really sparked the engagement within the school for the new climate action agenda. So I think from there, every student really engaged and saw their work follow the UN sustainable goals. So yeah, we had a very difficult second semester with COVID-19 and all that. But just on behalf of all of the students, we want to say a big thank you to the staff for their continued support in everything that they did. And it was a very difficult time for not just the students, but the staffs themselves. So thank you for everything that you've done, and we really do appreciate it. So as well as talking about, briefly talking about the year that we had, I am also a member of the Architectural Students Association, and I just would like to say a few words on that. So yeah, the Architectural Students Association is a society, a college society, for every member of the college that is interested in architecture, and the society is based in the school, so it's really bound or rooted in the school's ethos as well. So within our ASA program during the year, we had done our best to follow the climate change, climate action agenda that the school set out. So we had a number of social events, and we had some fun mixers that everybody got engaged with. We had a great lecture series, and we had a charity event, a charity pub quiz that did a lot of good work for a number of charities. And we want to say a big thank you to the architecture school in Cardiff for coming over and helping raise money for that. And we had hoped to revitalise a sort of tradition that the ASA had, and that was Flash Friday. So the students would occupy or take over the school for a Friday, and there would be a number of lectures, classes, fun activities and events. So we had our own spin on that, and we had our Flash Wednesday. So I would just like to say a big thank you to everybody who was involved in that. I would like to thank the school for giving us the premise and for helping facilitate that. So yeah, our lecture series was fantastic. We had a number of lectures in the second semester. We had 3, but we had 2 planned when they were unfortunately cut short. So we'd like to say a big thank you to Scott Talon Walker Architects, Calkin Studio and Extinction Rebellion for coming along and giving a lecture to the students. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get to see a lot of our program to the end, but we had hoped for more lectures, but also the ASA ball, the traditional ball that we have at the end of every year. And we hope and we anticipate a big ball for next year. So I would just like to say thank you to everybody on the ASA committee on behalf of myself and Bia, the chairperson. So I'd like to say a thank you to Ashley, Brian, Adele, Marley, Moya, Pierce, Roman and Senan. And yeah, I would like to say a big thank you to everybody in the DSA. So Orna, Jennifer, Cormac, Joseph, thank you very much for everything that you do. And I believe with that, I would like to pass on to Orna. Thank you.
Thank you, Conor, and congratulations as well. We were trying to keep this as a COVID-free zone as much as possible, but I just wanted to acknowledge and add to Conor's comments to acknowledge how impressively the school community, both staff and students, adapted to a new way of working and adjusted to the physical and mental challenges of physical separation from colleagues and friends. The academic community worked tirelessly to ensure that the academic year continued to move forward to completion. Imaginative and creative ways of staying in touch and maintaining crucial engagement with students through those difficult weeks were developed by staff who applied dedication and professionalism to this task. and my sincere and heartfelt gratitude for all their efforts under such unpredictable and uncertain conditions. The talent and the calibre of the Dublin School of Architecture academic community is core to the continued success of the school, and it is a real privilege to work with such dedicated colleagues. I would also like to express a particular and personal thanks to the school executive team, Cormac, Jennifer, Joseph, Ray and Garrett, for their unwavering support and sheer hard work, often unseen, and the leadership and vision that they have shown in their discipline areas within the school. I would also like to express my gratitude for the enormous contribution made by the technical and administrative staff to the school throughout the academic year. We'd like to take this opportunity to thank the Transform EDU project, and in particular Dr. Philip Wende and Cormac McMahon for their support of the publication of the yearbook, which through partnership promotes transformative learning opportunities for all. A special thanks to TU Dublin Foundation for their support in the administration and presentation of the Morrison and Mount Kavanagh prizes and awards. And thanks to TU Dublin IT for their support in hosting this event. At the heart of the school is the student body, and we are always aware of our privilege in working with such a terrific group of students, with the resilience and tenacity they have shown in these incredibly difficult and challenging circumstances, both together as a community and at an individual level, has been a real inspiration to us all. The publication of our yearbook is just one example of this, and particular thanks to Stephen, Mark, Romney and La Serena and lecturer Paul Kelly for the most beautiful publication. This concludes the official opening of our virtual end of year show. It just remains for me to thank our guests this afternoon, in particular Professor David Fitzpatrick, Bianca Wong and Dr. Avril Brian, and to thank all those who have made this year such a success, and to wish you all a happy and very safe summer break, and look forward to seeing you all again next year. Thank you. And if you'd like to stay online for a celebration of our students at work and at play, and a presentation of the yearbook will continue for a few minutes after that. Thank you again, everyone. Have a great break. Thank you.